Addiction is not simple weakness or lack of discipline, it is an existential void that screams in silence. Carl Jung uncovered the hidden root behind those behaviors that destroy us and revealed how to confront them through the integration of the shadow. Stay until the end to discover how this inner journey can transform the way you understand your habits and your freedom. Addiction is not just a harmful habit nor a moral weakness. For Carl Jung, it was a hidden cry that appears when a human being loses connection with their essence. Behind every dependency, there is not merely a search for momentary pleasure, but a failed attempt to fill an inner emptiness that consumes from within. What many call vice is, in reality, the manifestation of a deep pain, the search for meaning in a world that offers only routine, pressure, and exhaustion. It all begins with a fleeting relief. A drink calms anxiety, a screen silences inner noise, an excess of work prevents facing loneliness. What seems like a quick solution becomes a prison. Temporary relief transforms into an invisible chain, until the person no longer knows whether they act by choice or because the inertia of the habit dominates their life. Jung affirmed that the root is never in the substance or in the compulsive behavior, but in the spiritual emptiness that precedes it. That emptiness arises from a fragmented existence shaped by the pressure to be productive, to appear strong, and to fit into a society that punishes vulnerability. The system teaches us to deny the shadow and show only what is acceptable, but what is repressed does not disappear, it distorts and returns disguised as addiction. In Jung's view, the shadow is everything we hide out of shame or fear. Whoever does not face their shadow becomes enslaved by it. Repressed anger becomes alcoholism, the need for control becomes compulsive gambling, the fear of failure becomes work obsession. Addiction becomes a mirror of what is being buried but insists on surfacing with force. The way out, according to Jung, is integration, recognizing what is denied, accepting it as part of oneself, and stopping the fight against it as if it were the enemy. When the hidden becomes conscious, it loses its destructive power and transforms into creative energy. This process demands courage because it requires admitting insecurities, accepting fears, and exposing the inner truth to oneself. Today, addictions appear in visible and invisible forms. Drugs, social media, consumerism, or the obsession with recognition all respond to the same mechanism, escaping the void. But no excess fills it. The only way out is reconnection with the inner self. For Jung, addiction was not just self-destructive behavior, but the reflection of a radical disconnection from the inner world. Those who fall into it are not just seeking pleasure or escaping discomfort. They are trying to transcend the immediate, to reach something sacred, though in a clumsy and misguided way. At its core, addiction is frustrated spirituality, a desperate attempt to find fulfillment through paths incapable of providing it. Alcohol, drugs, gambling, overworking, or the obsession with productivity function as modern rituals. They distract from the void and anesthetize inner wounds but never resolve the root, the loss of connection with one's own essence. Addiction becomes a substitute for a true experience of meaning, a distorted echo of what should be an authentic search for transcendence. Modernity intensified this phenomenon. The system imposes impossible standards and convinces people that their worth depends on results, possessions, and recognition. It rewards speed and accumulation, but punishes introspection and fragility. In this setting, millions take refuge in addictions, both visible and invisible, to survive in an environment that reduces them to tools of production. Spiritual emptiness is no longer an individual accident. It becomes a collective symptom. Jung proposed the opposite, turning inward, confronting the shadow, accepting the multiplicity of the psyche, and beginning the process of individuation. To individuate means becoming who you truly are, without social masks or imposed identities. It is the path where conscious and unconscious meet, and where addiction loses its power because the individual gains a deeper sense of self. Stories from people who undergo this process are clear. One person discovers that their compulsion toward alcohol isn't just a habit, but an attempt to avoid sadness, and by recognizing it, the urge weakens. Another realizes that their obsession with work masked a fear of uselessness. By accepting this, they stop surrendering to productivity as their only form of validation. This journey requires courage and rebellion. It demands breaking the illusion that personal worth depends on achievements or approval. For Jung, healing addiction does not come from strengthening willpower, but from reconnecting with the lost center. Introspection, therapy, or stoicism can open that path. Addiction, in essence, is a misguided search for transcendence that can only be overcome by reconciling with who one truly is. King emphasized that addiction gains power when the individual rejects their shadow. The more they repress what feels unacceptable, the stronger the repressed becomes. The unconscious then takes over through compulsive habits that end up dominating life. What is not integrated becomes a tyrant. This is why Jung saw overcoming vice not as mere abstinence, but as a profound process of psychic integration. This process, called individuation, requires confronting the most uncomfortable aspects of the personality: insecurities, resentments, hidden desires, and fears of failure. Instead of running away, the individual begins to look directly at what they've denied for years. That confrontation transforms the energy once destined for addiction into growth. What was repressed stops controlling from the shadows and becomes part of conscious life. Carlos's story exemplifies this. What began as harmless habits, alcohol, gambling, fast food, became a spiral of disconnection. His spiritual emptiness devoured him in silence, and each attempt to escape made it worse. Only when he understood, through Jung, that his problem wasn't the substance, but the ignored shadow, did true change begin. Individuation allowed him to accept his fragility, acknowledge his fear of failure, and free himself from the need for approval. What once enslaved him became an opportunity for transformation. Symbols were key in this process. Jung saw them as expressions of the collective unconscious, images that contain psychological and spiritual forces. For him, a tree, a mandala, or a cross weren't mere cultural icons but bridges to inner dimensions. Carlos used these symbols to reorganize his inner world. The tree reminded him of the need for strong roots, the hero inspired him to face adversity, and the light guided him in moments of darkness. They weren't abstractions. They were constant guides in his transformation. Jung's message remains relevant. Addictions mutate and disguise themselves: chemical drugs, social media, consumerism, and obsession with success all respond to the same void. The more people try to fill it with external stimulation, the deeper it becomes. The way out is inward. Integrating the shadow, accepting virtues and imperfections, and redirecting the energy once used in vices toward authenticity. The system does not offer this path because it thrives on dependent, anxious individuals. Jung is uncomfortable because he demands rebellion against the logic of consumption and a return to one's essence. Overcoming addiction is rebuilding that connection, regaining the freedom to live without masks or compulsions. Jung's view of addiction reveals that the solution is not escaping, but reconnecting with your true self. Don't forget to subscribe, like, activate notifications, and share your thoughts in the comments so we can keep exploring together in upcoming videos.